Hello everyone, this is Pawfect and welcome to my new Stonehearth Alpha 21 hard mode series. I know at the end of my tutorial series I said I was going to make a hard mode series. This has been a while since then, I do apologise. But now I'm going to start that hard mode series. I've done a little bit of practicing on another word just to test a few things, and because it's been a while, making sure that I still know how to play the game. For those that are interested and want to check out my tutorial series, I'll put a link to the description in this one, but I'm going to assume those watching have already sort of seen my sort of tutorial series, and this is just a hard mode series going on from that. So I'm assuming people watching sort of know the basics. So I'm going to play as the Ascendancy. I'm going to play in Darkmoon Forest. I do prefer the forest sort of biome style. It's a much nicer sort of palette. Prefer the greens. Okay, so since Alpha 19, there's been Alpha 20 and 21. Obviously, I do know how to count, and they've introduced these new little traits for the people to have, and there's lots of different ones. I don't really know how useful they are, how much they add. Like, I don't know, does, a green thumb, do they get twice as much food from farming, or do the farms grow twice as fast when they use them? I have absolutely no idea. But I think it certainly does give them some benefit. Obviously, mind, body, and spirit is the same as before. We also have some ability to change how they all look. An animal companion, that's really cool. Ever since Sebiot Boltus saved their rabbit from mortal danger, they've been inseparable. So obviously he has a little rabbit following him around, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, I am going to mostly focus on these stats, being mind, body, and spirit. And one thing I really like going for is someone for spirit, so that we can make them a healer, and someone with body. So I'm thinking this is actually not too bad. We could make these two people warriors. We could make you a warrior. They're courageous, that'll help them. You're a cultist. This halfling keeps mumbling about some sort of secret bunny god sleeping eternally. What's that about? I'm not really sure what a cultist does, but hopefully they don't do something dodgy. But I'm thinking this one will probably be our herbalist, and then our cleric, and you're going to be our starting warrior, and then we'll work out everyone else as we go. So we're going to accept this roster. And, it looks like with the merchant caravan, I still want to get this trapper's knife, but we also get a footman sword and a herbalist staff, so that's actually going to make it much quicker. I think previously we could only get a trapper's knife, so that's actually really cool. So we're going to grab that package. And for our map seed, what am I going to focus on? I don't really like that one. Typically what I look for in a map seed is somewhere that's got a little bit of water like this, close-ish to a mountain, and has some open space. So here actually wouldn't be that bad. I like being close so I can go mining. I'm thinking maybe there's missing, might try a little bit more. I found a really great seed on my last file, and I'm hoping to replicate that. I'm wondering if here actually looks pretty good. Maybe we'll go here. It sort of really depends. I'm really hoping that we get lucky with, or maybe up here actually. Yeah, maybe we'll go here. I want to go near some water, and I think this location looks kind of cool. So let's go right there. Settle here. But it really comes down to the natural resources that are around as well. So obviously we have lots of berry bushes and all that sort of thing. It's going to make it much easier to start with. And this being a hard series, the start is very important. So I'm going to have a look around. I want to be close to a mountain, but I also want to get close to food and various other things. Maybe over here, there's lots of berry bushes, but there aren't very many. I'm not seeing very many. It's the spindleweed there, but it's the herbs that I'm really looking for. Some more spindleweed. I kind of want to find a place that's sort of balanced. We've got some herbs there, but not many. We have berry bushes, more herbs. If I go... Oh, there's some herbs there. I'm wondering... Lots of berry bushes. Oh, come on, need to find a nice place. Oh, that's great. Look at all those berry bushes. And there's a little bit of herbs. I'm thinking we're going to go here. So I'm going to rotate back around, because I think this is going to be a great spot, actually. Look at all those berry bushes. We're not too far from the mining as well. There's also some things up there. So I'm going to choose right here, and this is where we're going to start. So we're going to go right here to begin with, and I think we're still going to expand up here and expand a little bit down here. So let's start there. Rocky Puppy Crossing. I actually don't mind that. I think that sort of suits the Pawfect style. We've got a Rocky Puppy Crossing. That'll do. That'll do. Okay, so we're just going to pause and have a quick look around. So I think to start with, we're going to we might put our stockpile. So I might move these to about here. We might set our stockpile up. Can I do it while the trees are there? No, I can't. Can I cancel that? Let's remove. Maybe we'll even set the stockpile down this level. We're close enough to the mine. I just don't want to be too far away. But maybe we'll set up down this area. So we'll set up our stockpile right. Maybe there. And we'll make it 20 by 20. So we'll need to get them down, obviously, and we'll probably need some wood to be able to do that. So let's chop down these trees here and maybe here, and we'll start from that. I also want to get a trapper. So is there anyone with good trapper skills? Pessimistic, no. I'm looking at the people that have sort of average stats. What are you? You can be our Heart of a Crafter, Courageous. Well, he's definitely not being a warrior with only one. What are you? Let's make this guy a trapper. I know this guy's a passionate knight, but I think because he's got annual companionship, I'm going to make him our trapper. There we go. And I think I'm also going to make someone, and I might even be you. So you're going to be a Heart of a Crafter, and I'm going to make you. Whoops. Oh, there's some extra stats. That's kind of cool. I'm going to make you our carpenter, because we always need a carpenter early in the game. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly move all these items over here. So I'm just going to hit play for a bit, because I just want to get this done. And I might even harvest this here as well. But I think that's enough wood for us. Yep, we've got that there. What I'm going to do, because I don't really want to do this on camera, is I just want to move all of these items over to this area. So we've got them all nearby our stockpile. So I will just be back in a sec once I've sort of selected all these items to move over here. And I'm back. So I just quickly collected all these and moved them over here. The little Stonehearth people will slowly move them over as we're going. So I think the other thing I need to do, I need to set up some trapper zones. So I'm wondering if we make this whole level our trapper level. So we've got our trapper now. So let's quickly set up some trapper zones. Excuse me, I think I got the hiccups. So that can go there, that can go there. And maybe we'll make it so it's sort of this half. And I think this will be our trapper area. Why can't I go that next one up? That's really going to annoy me. Oh well, that'll do. So this whole zone will be our trapper zone. And so they're going to collect all of those. That's really good. Alright, so while we're doing that, we need to get our carpenter to make a workbench. And when he levels, or he or she levels up, we need to get a tool bench as well. And while we're here, I'm going to just chuck all of these on maintain 1. I always like to have tools available for whenever I want to level up or to promote the Stonehearth Hearthlings. And it's just easier, I find, just to have them always be built. But also I want to level up our craftsmen, so we're going to get them to make 10 mean beds, which we'll probably just chuck on the ground for the first night. And then after the collecting all these, we need to get them harvested, and we're going to chop down these trees as well. But I think that's really good. I'm wondering, do we want to put a ladder over here? They can just go up and walk around, but it will be quicker. I think it'll be quicker. We might delete it later, but I think for the moment we'll chuck a ladder up just so they can get up and down in that area if need be. So we're going to chop down this tree. I think this is where we'll start building up our land and our houses. I think in this area to start with. We've got our trapper going there. We've got a fair bit of food. We should be getting more food soon. And how are we going? Net worth, yeah, that's going to be slow. Edibles, we should be able to get a fair bit of edibles once we've got all these berry bushes. So this being hard mode, my first priority is really to try to get a cleric as quickly as possible. I've noticed when you're fighting people, once you've got a cleric, it makes it so much easier and everyone survives for that much longer. You can just do a little bit of micro here and there to try to reduce damage while still healing quite a bit. So I'm going to be rushing as quickly as I can for a cleric. And that's kind of why I want to get some of these herbs as quick as we can. The other thing I want to focus on is getting more people, because with more people it means that I can build up a bigger army quicker and we can support that quicker and then get more and more people quicker. Because I found with hard mode it's about getting set up and getting in front of the enemy curve. So the enemies are sort of plan to come on certain nights. So for the first 3 nights you'll have some easy enemies, then you'll get some harder enemies and so on and so forth. And if you get behind the curve, it's very difficult to get ahead. But once you sort of got in front of the curve and you're building up your army, it makes it so much easier on hard mode. I find the early days really make a really big difference how your whole hard mode series goes. And so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to be focusing on getting food and herbs so that we can get a herbalist. I'm probably going to hold off until we've just got all these people collect all the items we want before actually building a herbalist. And once these are all chopped down and everyone's collected everything, we're going to get our workers set on building our very first house. Just to get our net worth up. So you get more people by having more net worth and getting a certain amount of edibles as well as morale, but morale I've never found too much of a problem. But yeah, mostly we need to get our net worth up and our edibles. To start with, I'm going to focus on getting our net worth up by building houses, and our edibles, mostly I'm just going to focus on our trapper as well as these berry bushes. I'm not going to worry just yet on a farmer. I think that should be sufficient to get our edibles up. Another thing I need to remember to do, and I should have done this earlier, is place down that workbench so we can get our carpenter building things. And he'll probably go ahead and start building those beds. So hopefully these will be chopped down soon, because I want to put our first house there. Or do I want to put it here? Maybe I'll put it here. So let's do that. Now I will be building some of my own buildings throughout this series, but to start with I'm just going to focus on this dining hall because I do like this dining hall design, and we're going to plop it down just here. I want it close to this storage and close to these food so that people can grab the food, jump straight into the dining hall and go from there. So we're just going to build that, and I'm going to put this on that below one. And that should be built there. So what have we got? They've collected all of our items, they've chopped down all the trees, and we should now have some herbs. So now that we've got some herbs, I'm going to get Emilia Lessel to be our first herbalist. And the quicker that she levels up, the quicker we'll be able to get a cleric. So once she's picked that up and become a cleric, it just takes a little bit of time. There we go. We're going to get you to build your workbench, and then I'm going to get you to build or craft maybe 20, let's go 15. That might be enough to level it up to level 2. But really I just want to level them up to level 2 so that they're ready to go and become a cleric. Now, like I said, to begin with, I'm just going to chuck these outside. We will be building houses for them, but I think just for the moment, so that at least they can sleep somewhere. And these houses will be built slowly over time. We're just going to do that there. Now it is starting to become night time, and we do get our first enemies at night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make Roak Fenton our very first footman, so that we can defend ourselves when the enemies come. I've got more beds. No, no more beds. They're just the same ones. So they're the beds that are going to go here. Okay, so while they're doing the things they need to be doing, who have we got? We've got Bastion Freywind, who is courageous and heart of a crafter. Loves crafting things for others. If they don't make at least one thing a day, they feel the day is wasted. So I wonder if I go character sheet. Fruitful. What does that do? It always feels good to make something for others. Okay, so maybe they get this little happiness buff every time he makes something. This is kind of cool. So he's tired. Okay, so overall, maybe this is how they calculate morale now. They get the pluses and the minuses, and they calculate it. So that's pretty cool. So obviously having a tasty meal gives some. Pioneering spirits, that might just mean they're new and happy for being new. Fruitful labours, it's all very, very cool. So now we've got our first warrior. I don't like them sitting on patrol. I feel like we can better use them in other things. So what our warrior can do, which is Roak Fenton, he can start collecting this wood for us. So he can't actually chop, he can't actually build, but what he can do is collect some of the items. So because we've got items lying all over the place at the moment, he can start putting them back, and therefore our crafters and other people don't have to walk as far and pick up all the items. So he can start getting things organized for us. And I think they can also place items on the ground for us as well. So I don't know if it'll necessarily be him. I think anyone can place his items on the ground. Looks like you're going to grab the bench. Yep, you are. And that, you might even be... No, you're just a worker. I was wondering if that was the herbalist. But our herbalist should come along now. Are you the herbalist? Yep. And they'll start making some herbs, because they prioritize their job over just normal crafting and collecting type things. And I think that'll be our last bed. So I know we're making a few more beds, but we only need 7 because we only have 7 people. So let's chuck that last bed down, and that's a bed for everyone. Okay. So I think for a first day, this is coming along really, really well. We've got all of our items. I'm happy enough with the amount of herbs we got. Really, I just want to get enough herbs, so by about day 4 or so, we can collect or upgrade to a cleric. And as long as we can do that, that's probably enough. Similarly with these spindleweeds, we just need enough so we can build or craft a few bits of thread to be able to make a cleric's book. So that's sort of the priority of these. We don't need too much. The food obviously we need, because you need food to get extra people. But this is quite a lot. We've got, I think there's 20 berry bushes, which is just heaps. And I don't know what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 herbs and maybe 9 spindleweed. Okay, so I'm expecting to be attacked sometime during the night. So when we hear that noise, oh, there's a hotkey C. All I'm going to do is hit C and turn his job on, and he should be able to defend us against some of the enemies that come. So now that we've sort of set up all the things we want, I don't want to get them doing too many things, otherwise they don't prioritize the tasks that I want them to do. So I want them to collect this, and I want them to build this item sort of as this dining hall as the priority. And if I start selecting new tasks like chop down these trees and do this, that, and the other, they'll sort of pick and choose and do a little bit of chopping down the trees. Okay, so we've got the person C, and make him attack. So this is our warrior here, and the enemies are coming, and he should be able to defend reasonably well. Now I'm going to put it on normal speed now, just in case I need to adjust. I think he should beat all 3 without too many issues. We'll just have to watch, because I definitely don't want someone dying. Someone dying is a really bad thing. And what I can do, and you know what I might actually do just to make it safer, you know, you go back to town, and what I'm going to do is if you hit R, you get all your people defending. So I'm going to get everyone together, and that way they'll all attack as well. He'll soak some damage, and he should overall take less damage. Okay, so we missed out on day 1. Our net worth's actually going pretty well. So's our food. So I'm hoping by day 2... No, you know what? You need to come back because you need assistance from your team. I think he's just going to keep trying to run and attack these guys. Oh, can they go up the ladder? They can. Okay, that's good. I was wondering for a second if they could go up the ladder. Okay, so we want to get assistance from everyone else. There we go. So this way, everyone should do some damage and they should die, and hopefully everyone takes just a little bit amount of damage, but not too much. There we go. So I think now that we've done that, I'm going to turn his job off. Hopefully he heals some health overnight or during the next night. And we're going to collect more of these things, and hopefully Emilia is nearly leveling up. Yep, so nearly level 1. Character sheet. Yep, nearly level 1. How do I go with attributes? Equipment, backpack, job abilities. It's kind of cool. It's really good stats, actually. 5, 3, and 6. That's really good. I'm quite pleased with that. Who's this? You're really happy. Why is today a good day? And Emilia got leveled up. And Bassian Freywind leveled up. So how are we going with our net worth? Our net worth's getting up there. Our edibles are getting up there. I think this is going really good. So I think that'll probably do for this episode. The plan for this series is to basically play through, and I want to try to get about 30 Hearthlings and see if I can survive the whole way up to about that. And play and try to get all the different professions. I didn't get that in my last series, so we want to get the archer, the knights, try some of these engineers, try the potters and all that sort of stuff and see how we go. But I think that's probably it for this episode. So if you did enjoy the episode, please remember to leave a like and even comment. I do appreciate the comments. But besides that, guys, I will see you all in the next episode. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.